This is when me and Mark are going to sing a song.
Well, thank you, Amy, and thank you for Rock City. It's a beautiful song. If you listen to it, it's really beautiful. So my name's schiefer, and my entire life is an awkward situation. Every time I talk in front of a crowd of people, I feel like I'm having a sex talk with my parents for the first time. Except instead of talking to my parents, I'm talking to myself in front of a crowd of people. So I don't have cable, and it's not a choice, it's because I'm too poor. I have a converter box, so I get 4 separate WQED channels, which is always fun. And the Cool TV, Channel 22, Part 2, it's one of the best things that ever existed. But I'm not really that upset about not having cable, because there aren't a lot of good things on cable, like Desperate Housewives of Atlanta, Desperate Housewives of New Jersey, New York, wherever. Who really cares? Like, this week on the Housewives, watch Bethany get a spray tan while she neglects her kids and cheats on her husband. Really? How about the common law couples of Allegheny County? That would be way better. Like, this week, watch 2 people that hate each other but are together because they're too lazy to look anywhere else. Watch Amy use her access card at the Giant Eagle coming up at 5. And it's just 2 really miserable, ugly people who are naturally ugly. It didn't take thousands of dollars of cosmetic surgery to make them look like that hideous alien-esque pumpkin with legs that they are now. Another show that I'm not a big fan of, Sex and the City. If more people would be less concerned with that show, maybe they would be in the city having sex. Think about that? My twin cousins, that is one of their favorite shows in the world. And they're never in the city, and they're never having sex. And one of the reasons they're not having sex is because they're too lazy. They're kind of like cats. They sleep, eat, groom themselves, repeat. Sleep, eat, groom themselves, repeat. That's all that they really do. And I can't really hate them too much for being lazy, because I have eaten cereal with a ladle just to avoid washing a spoon. I have eaten ice cream out of a pot with a fork, because a spoon and a bowl were just too much work for me to do. And I was telling one of my friend's 10-year-old sons about eating things with utensils they're not meant to be eaten with. And he's like, that's really weird. I'm like, wait until you're in your early 20s. You're going to do a lot of really weird things. And a lot of really stupid things. Like drinking a lot. I drink a lot. And I vomit a lot. And it's not because I'm bulimic or anything. Like, they call me anorexic. I just don't eat. But sometimes when I'm puking, I pretend my toilet is a hungry, alcoholic baby bird. So I feel like I'm doing something right with my life. You're so much more fun in a place I'm normally in. But I'm not that bad with my alcoholism. I'm not a raging alcoholic. I'm pretty happy with myself. But a lot of my friends drink a lot, and they can't handle it, and they do that, I'm Irish, I can drink whatever I want. No, you can't. You just fell for no reason whatsoever and lost your shoes. I want to leave you in the South Side, but I'm a nice person, so I'm not going to. But a lot of my friends are dumb. A lot of them. One of my friends, a male friend, recently asked me, for some reason yeast infections came up and he felt like I was the one to ask about that. He's like, you're a woman. I'm like, okay, let's go with this. Well, why do women have so much yeast in their bodies naturally? And I'm like, you know the phrase, bun in the oven? That's more literal than you think. We need that to grow the child. He believed me. My roommate is a very stupid person too. He's a little naive. He's starting out in the music scene in Pittsburgh, so he meets a lot of strangers in bands and invites them to stay at our apartment without my consent. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, some random guys in a death metal band. I'm a little afraid they're gonna murder me with an axe and then write a song about it. And I wouldn't even get to hear the song if I lived, because I don't like heavy metal shows or punk shows, because I don't like to be punched in a festive manner. I just don't think it's fun. Like, this song is so great! That's not fun to me. But I'm too lazy to jump around anyway. Kids are not lazy. Kids have the most ridiculous amount of energy energy, and no matter how hard 5-hour energy tries, it will never compare to it. But kids are also completely insane. My friend has a 5-year-old daughter, and I was playing Barbies with her a few weeks ago, and I threatened to stab her dad with a Barbie, and she got really serious and said, "No, do it with a knife." And I'm like, you think I'm weird, but I kind of question your parenting skills with this one. Whenever I was a kid, we were kind of poor. We had a lot of rock fights, and not a lot of insurance, so that never turned out very well. But I did have some toys. I had ribbon dancers, like $15.99 for a ribbon on a stick. I was using old Christmas ribbons and actual sticks because my mom was not paying for that. Sky dancers. Does anyone remember sky dancers? The cute little fairy that as soon as you pulled the thing, it hit your mom in the eye, and she was so mad that she just spent $12 on it. And skip-its. That was one of the most terrible inventions ever. Skipping is dangerous enough if you're uncoordinated, but now let's tie a weight to it and have it hit you in the ankle when you don't jump fast enough. And I don't have insurance, so my ankle is still messed up from those things. And Polly Pockets. Polly Pockets were amazing. My little brother is 10 years younger than me. Whenever he was about 2 years old, he liked to be naked a lot because he was going through that phase. And he was playing with my Polly Pocket house. You know, the ones that click closed? And he closes his junk in it. Starts freaking out, and my mom, gets it off, and he's crying, "Mom, kiss it, make it better." She's like, "I don't want to be in jail for your 3rd birthday, so I'm just going to have to say no to that one." Monopoly was a fun game to never play. I lived in the city, so we just played drug dealer with the money. So whenever my mom went to play it, there was nothing in there, so we were buying crack up on Liberty Avenue with it. And some of my friends grew up in the suburbs, so whenever I talk to them about that, I'm like, "Well, what did you do? Play loan agent? You want to finance that big wheel? That Barbie dream house? You need to talk to me about this." Look at my notes, because I'm So toys were dangerous. There were, a lot of guns involved, and just playing was never fun with my cousin David, who would just run in and body slam you for no reason to prepare you for the real world. We used to slide down his grandmother's steps on this army, like a kind of a blanket, but it was kind of like if you put oil on wax paper. That's what it was like going down the stairs. And every time we did this, the grandmother didn't care about the possibility of us breaking our necks, our arms, our legs. She cared about us shattering the window at the bottom of it. So I don't have any children, and I'm proud of myself for that. Thank you. But I like kids, and I like adults that can maintain that childish innocence and just state of mind sometimes. My 38-year-old uncles still go to my grandmother's house, take the milk, and leave a note in the fridge that says, "I owe you milk." Because they're just not responsible enough to buy it, even though I think the grocery store might be closer. My boss thinks fruit flies turn into regular flies. The man has a degree in criminology, and he owns a hoagie shop. So clearly he's living his dreams right now. But thinking about dreams, a lot of my family and friends get down on me. I didn't go to college. I've been working in a hoagie shop for 5 years, but I have fun with it, and that's what matters to me. I bartend on Friday nights, and from both of those jobs, my customers and my coworkers, they're family to me. And it's a little scary sometimes. There's a lot of alcoholics, a lot of drug addicts that I deal with, but they're always fun, and they're always encouraging. And another one of my dreams since I started listening to comedy a little bit more was just to do stand-up comedy and to talk in front of an amazing crowd like you people. So that's all that I have. Thank you guys. Have a nice night.
Jeez, man, we gotta run off right out of here. We gotta resent that. The toys we had when we were little were bullshit.